Warriors came out with a huge win against the Boston Celtics, which made them tie the series 2-2 against the Boston Celtics, which is very important because if they lost this game, then the Warriors would have went down 3-1, and there's a very good chance if that happened, the Boston Celtics would win the championship. But now this series is starting to get interesting. We are starting to see Stephen Curry having one of the best finals performance in his career. Having 43 points in this game, he completely took over this game to help the Golden State Warriors win it. And this makes the series very interesting, and it sets up a very interesting Game 5, which will be very important for both teams. In this video, I'm going to be giving you guys my prediction for Game 5 and telling you guys what went right with the Golden State Warriors and what went wrong with the Boston Celtics. Now let's start off with what went right with the Golden State Warriors. Right off the bat, the rebounding is a lot better for the Golden State Warriors this game. Even though the Boston Celtics are much bigger than the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors had 55 rebounds and the Boston Celtics had 42 rebounds. In Game 3, the Boston Celtics crushed the Golden State Warriors on the glass. But now this is a difference of 13 rebounds for the Golden State Warriors, which is very important for this team. It is a very big time for the Golden State Warriors. Now, they also got 16 offensive rebounds, more than the Boston Celtics. Another important stat. They got 8 steals and 6 blocks, playing great defense on the Boston Celtics in the last few minutes of the game. The Boston Celtics went cold in the last few minutes of the game. No one can score the ball in the Boston Celtics, and the Golden State Warriors went on a big run. The Golden State Warriors were down 90-86 until the Boston Celtics only scored 7 points in the rest of the game, and the Golden State Warriors scored a lot more than that. The Golden State Warriors scored a grand total of 21 points. So the run was a 21-7 run against the Boston Celtics in the closing minutes of the fourth quarter. Very important. A lot of us were talking about how the Boston Celtics are not very clutch in the playoffs, and that's very true now that we know that. Since they're not very clutch, it's clearly very bad for the Boston Celtics, and that's what went wrong with the Boston Celtics. They couldn't close out the game with a 4-point lead. Now granted, there were still a couple of minutes left, a couple of 7 minutes left in the game, but the Celtics were winning pretty well, and they had a good lead on the Golden State Warriors, and they could have took a 3-1 lead. But they didn't take a 3-1 lead, and they lost the game, which is absolutely terrible. There have been so much clutch situations with the Boston Celtics in this playoffs where they fumble. Especially in that Game 7 against the Miami Heat when they almost blew an 8-point lead with 1 minute and 25 seconds remaining. They didn't milk the clock. They didn't even know what to do. Up 8 points with 1 minute, 25 seconds remaining. So that's one of the biggest problems for the Boston Celtics. But other than that, the Boston Celtics shot pretty well from the 3-point line and had a pretty good field goal percentage. The Boston Celtics played pretty good in this game, and they still survived with Stephen Curry's 43-point game. And that is pretty impressive. I just think the Boston Celtics need to play a lot better in clutch situations where they need to step up. Because we have seen time and time again them flopping in the fourth quarter in clutch situations. They are just messing up a lot. Only one time the Boston Celtics did good in clutch situation, and that was in the first round in game 1 against against the Brooklyn Nets. So that's the only time they were really clutch again in the playoffs. But other than that, they haven't been really clutch in the NBA playoffs. Now the Golden State Warriors, what went right with them? I first talked about the rebounding difference. Now the Golden State Warriors also had Steph Curry kind of carrying them. I mean, Steph Curry had 43 points. That is absolutely amazing. And the Warriors still only won by 10 points, and it was still a close game for the Golden State Warriors. So, still, that is very important. Steph Curry is playing amazing. The rest of the players, sure, Klay Thompson had 17 points, sure, Andrew Wiggins had 18 points, but it's still not enough help for Stephen Curry. And putting up this type of masterclass is absolutely amazing for the Golden State Warriors and definitely helped them win big time in this game. So since Steph Curry played so well in this game, the Golden State Warriors were rewarded with a win, and the Boston Celtics have to figure out how they will guard him in Game 5 of the NBA Finals. So Game 5 will be a very important game. Who do I have winning this Game 5 of the NBA Finals? I think this Game 5 will be a pretty good game, but I'll take the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics are favored in this game, as the matchup predictor says that they have a 52% chance to win, and the Warriors have a 48% chance to win. I don't expect Stephen Curry to play this well again, and I think Jason Tatum will play a lot better. I mean, he had 23 points, Jaylen Brown had 21 points, and Marcus Smart had 18 points. That's just not, good enough for this Boston Celtics team. Jason Tatum needs to play better for sure. And he even said so. He even said that he needs to play better. So I think Jason Tatum will have a good game. He'll have about 35 points in my opinion. And Jaylen Brown will also have a pretty big game. I also expect Marcus Smart to play like he usually does. So I think Boston Celtics will win Game 5. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe.